Okay, so today we're diving into something pretty important, some serious stuff when it comes to safety.
Absolutely.
We're talking crane safety.
Yeah.
Specifically around high voltage power lines.
Very important.
And,
Yeah.
not just any power lines, we're focusing on those over 350 kV.
Right.
So, if you're listening to this and you're a crane operator, or maybe thinking about becoming one, or you work in safety and risk management, this is definitely for you.
Definitely.
We're going to be digging into OSHA regulations,
Okay.
specifically 1926.1409.
All right.
And we're doing this because
Yeah.
this isn't just some paperwork.
No.
This is the difference between a safe work day and, well, a potential disaster.
Exactly. These regulations, they're really the foundation, the bedrock of safety when you're working with cranes around these power lines, especially when we're talking about high voltage.
And, I think it's important to point out that the OSHA regulations, they actually make a distinction when it comes to these higher voltage lines.
That's
The ones over 350 kV.
yeah.
That's our focus today.
So the regulations for lines under 350 kV, those are covered elsewhere, but they're still important, right?
Oh, absolutely. There's still the foundation.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to know those as well.
Right. But it's just,
But we're going,
we're going higher.
yeah, we're going above and beyond because higher voltage, well, it
Yeah.
means higher risk.
Exactly.
And that's why the rules get a little more strict.
Okay, so let's get into those guidelines then.
Right.
So, based on what I'm seeing in OSHA, 1926.14A09,
Yeah.
we've got these two key voltage ranges, right?
Right.
So first, we've got lines up to 1,000 kV.
Okay.
And for that, OSHA gives us a fixed safety distance of 50 feet.
50 feet. That's right. Got to keep that distance.
Now, that sounds like a pretty good distance.
Yeah.
But then when we go over 1,000 kV,
Things get interesting.
things get a lot more
Yeah.
complex.
Complex. Yeah.
Right.
And it makes sense if you think about it because, over 1,000 kV, we're talking serious power.
Yeah, that's a lot of juice.
A lot of juice, yeah. And with that much power, a standardized distance it's not enough.
So you're saying it's not like a one-size-fits-all situation anymore?
Exactly. It becomes a case-by-case basis.
Okay, so then who determines the safe distance in those situations?
Well, that's where the utility company that owns the lines comes in. Or you might need to bring in a qualified electrical engineer.
You're a qualified electrical engineer.
Yeah,
Okay.
someone with, the expertise to assess the risks.
I'm starting to see why this is so important for safety and risk management folks out there.
Absolutely. This is their bread and butter.
So help me understand this.
Sure.
Why is there such a big difference between, the fixed 50 feet and then needing a case-by-case assessment?
It all boils down to the nature of electricity.
Okay.
It's invisible, right?
Correct.
You can't see it, but it's incredibly powerful and dangerous.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest dangers, especially around high voltage lines, is something called arcing. Yeah, that's where electricity actually jumps through the air,
Oh, wow.
kind of like a mini lightning strike.
Okay, so it doesn't even need to be direct contact.
Nope, no contact needed, which is why that distance is so critical.
Okay, so the higher the voltage,
The greater the potential arc distance.
so that makes sense then, why we need a larger clearance for those higher voltage lines.
Exactly. And when we go over 1,000 kV, the potential arc distance can be so significant that, well, we can't just rely on a standard number.
We need to factor in all those other conditions.
Exactly. Things like the weather,
Uh-huh.
how the lines are designed, even the ground conditions, if it's wet, dry.
So that's where that qualified electrical engineer comes in.
Precisely. They can assess all those variables and determine a truly safe distance.
It's almost like every job site above 1,000 kV needs its own, custom safety plan.
You got it. That's a great way to put it.
Does,
It's about tailoring those safety measures to the specific environment.
it's really hitting home for me now. If I'm a crane operator and I'm about to start a job near these power lines, this information, it's not just numbers on paper.
It's your safety net.
It really
Yeah.
is. And this is why, all that pre-job planning,
Absolutely.
talking to the utility company, having that engineer on call if needed.
Yeah.
It's not just a suggestion. It's absolutely vital.
Absolutely vital. Couldn't agree more.
I mean, have you seen any situations where maybe those steps were overlooked and things went wrong?
Oh, I have, unfortunately, seen near misses where, communication wasn't clear or the risks weren't fully assessed, and it almost led to disaster.
And it's just not worth taking that risk.
Not at all. No.
So wrapping up here,
Yeah.
I think it's clear that understanding these voltage-specific safety distances It's non-negotiable.
It's essential, truly essential for anyone working around high voltage power lines.
And you know what? Thinking about the future, with the demand for electricity constantly growing and those voltage levels going up, what new challenges do you think are on the horizon when it comes to safety around these power lines?
That's a great question. And honestly, it's something I think about a lot.
Yeah.
You know, we're already pushing the boundaries with these high voltage lines.
Right.
So as those voltages increase, as we need to transmit more and more power, I think we're going to need to develop even more advanced safety protocols.
Yeah.
New technologies, new ways of thinking about risk assessment, and definitely a greater emphasis on training and education for everyone involved.
It's like we're constantly playing catch up with the technology.
In a way, yes, but it's a challenge we have to meet head on.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into crane safety around high voltage power lines.
It was a pleasure being here.
Stay safe out there, everyone.
Be careful out there.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
See you next time.
All right, take care.
Bye.